sleeping with someone. I still don't know why she chose that particular time to tell me. I asked who, where, when, and how it happened. Turns out it was the f***er in the bar. 4 months before we got married, at the company Christmas party, they slept together. Slipped off to his room and let him have her. So I was sitting in the bar that night we met him, thinking he was just trying to see her tits. Little did I know that he'd been sucking them a few months earlier. He was obviously telling his mates when they were looking over and laughing.
I don't know what to say, but that's savage. And to make it worse, everyone she works with knows she's a slit. Bet he's not the only one.
Damn, man, she's stone cold. Cheated on you, hid it for 4 years, and then drops it thinking because it was so long ago you'll forgive her? I hope you see how calculated she's being, man. She didn't confess because she's repentant. She confessed at this point only to make herself feel better. Even her confession is selfish, man. What a narcissist. I hope you were able to see through all this and leave her brother. No matter what, you need to understand actions need to have consequences, or she won't change.
Marriage is a lie. She proved she doesn't love, care, or respect you. Alcohol isn't an excuse. Cheaters don't deserve a second chance and don't change. She will do it again.
The second story, cheaters of Reddit. Why are you currently cheating on your partner? I created a throwaway for obvious reasons. You wanted a serious and honest response, so this is how I can do it. I've been a cheater in most relationships I've had, and as a result, a self-hater for most relationships. I've been through therapy for about 8 years for other reasons, and what I've come to learn is that I didn't feel I deserved love, affection, or appreciation. This stems from a whole host of other things from my childhood: sexual abuse, lack of fatherly relationship, latchkey kid, etc. I treated relationships as though they were temporary, even though they lasted for years. I'm a good-looking guy, so lots of women offer up temptation that I found difficult to reject. And each time, I hated myself for my indiscretions. I also picked relationships that were bad for me: cheater girlfriends, terrible communicators, insecure women, etc. Then I met the girl of my dreams. I was so into her from day one that I immediately shut down all of my other options. I told other women I was dating that I was happy and done dating around. I shut down a non-committed long-distance relationship as well. I was really, really in love. Then I found out she was cheating on me. I can't describe the heartbreak and betrayal I felt. This sent me into a downward spiral of emotional hell. Through therapy, I was able to get back on track, appreciate myself more, and find a girl who is absolutely perfect for me. I do still feel urges to cheat sometimes, but my unwillingness to hurt her saves me. Part of my self-hatred stems from not doing the right thing. Each time I do the right thing, I feel a sense of pride, and it makes me feel worthy of the love I receive. A positive cycle.
So I'm posting this on my Not Me account, and this is kind of long, but here was my experience with my last girlfriend. You know how somehow every girl is interested in you when you already have a girlfriend? Well, it starts like that. At first, you're not going to cheat, but you want to see if you've still got it. Now you know you've still got it, and just want to dance with her a little bit. All of a sudden, you're dancing and making out, but you're not sleeping with her, so it's not cheating yet. Then one night, you're really drunk and had a fight with your girlfriend, and you end up doing the same thing, and boom, you've slept with this girl and are officially cheating. Now you keep sleeping with this one girl because, hey, nothing bad happened the first time. This girl is just a physical outlet for me, and I still love my girlfriend. Well, time goes on and you've fallen so far over the line that you can't even remember when you really crossed it. And this new girl wants more from you. And your girlfriend is wondering why you suddenly have to work late but are making no more money. And you've got to try and find a way to break it off with the new girl. But it's hard because you kind of like her too. Suddenly you've constructed a web of lies so complicated that you're not even sure you can unravel it. And you're not sleeping well because if your current girlfriend finds out, the shit will hit the fan. And if your newer girl finds out, your girlfriend will eventually find out. You get into this situation where it's just easier to put it off. And it's sort of like when you put off breaking up with someone, but to a greater extent, because the disincentives are so copious.
Obesity by cupcakes is what a teacher of mine called it. One cupcake won't make you fat. Neither will two, or three, or four. One cupcake every day is going to make you fat. And before long, the cupcake won't satisfy anymore.
Married 21 years and never cheated. Because I'm honest with myself and am circumspect in my relationships with other women. Certain types of interactions just ceased to be a possibility when I got married. When thrown a hook, I don't bite. And I'm not looking for anything either. There are still a lot of people who strongly believe in marriage and monogamy, which requires an attitude of devotion and commitment that is probably incomprehensible to those who don't. The rewards can only be understood by those who live it.
Next, my cheating story.
When I was in my early 20s, I cheated on my then husband, which I told him about, and we tried to reconcile. He ended up cheating as well. It took a while, but we eventually separated. The day I left, I was 24, in 2015, we both cried because feelings were still there, but it just wasn't healthy for either of us anymore. It took a lot of time, introspection, and brutal self-honesty for me to understand why I cheated. I was 17 and he was 29 when we got together. My first real relationship after a horribly abusive, physical, mental, and sexual childhood. I thought he was my knight in shining armor and wanted it to be so. But I was young, had undiagnosed CPTSD, BPD, borderline, not bipolar, and just all around naive. That relationship was unhealthy from the start. He treated more like a child than a partner, which I can look back on now and see why. And I mistook infatuation for love. So when that infatuation wore off, I wasn't happy. I loved him, but not as a partner. And deep down, I knew that then. I was just too afraid to leave. Too afraid of something new. Afraid to hurt him, which I obviously still ended up doing. He got me out of a bad situation. Why couldn't I just love him? Anyways, I'm 30 now and have been with my current partner since 2016. I've gotten treatment for my mental health issues and understand myself and my behaviors, both past and present, better now. And I also haven't cheated on my partner. Never even thought about it. I would probably die if I hurt him. No joke. So cheaters can change, but they have to want to. They have to want to figure out what it is inside them that compels them to cheat.
Yep, cheaters can change. Problem is, they don't only have to acknowledge they are the problem, but also put in massive amounts of work, self-reflection, and swallowing their pride. That's the reason why the vast majority don't change. They'd rather play the victim or convince themselves they're not in the wrong. I'm glad for you that you have the willpower, persistence, and honesty to get yourself to be a better person. And I'm sorry you had to go through so much when you were younger. Keep up the good work.
The third story, my cheating story.
I cheated on my husband for 3 months with my best friend who was also married. So I didn't just cheat on my husband, but also lied and stabbed his wife in the back. The reasons for this betrayal are something I am still trying to unravel through my individual counseling. D-Day was 5 months ago, and if there can be any saving grace in my story, it is this part, where I admitted everything to his wife and gave her whatever messages and pictures I still had in my possession, and then blocked my AP. And then I finally confessed to my husband about the affair. I still remember his face when I told him, and it will be etched in my memory forever. I realized in that moment just what I am capable of, and it was not a good feeling. He didn't deserve that, and I was going to do everything in my power to heal him and myself too. I started counseling 4 days after my confession and started reading anything I could find on infidelity, its reasons, and how to help my husband recover, all the while not drowning in my own shame, but make some real progress both personally and in my relationship. I won't say we are healed, but we are in a much better place as compared to 5 months ago, and I have high hopes for what we are building. The aesthetics of our new relationship are not as shiny as our last one, but it's the foundation we are focusing on this time. He deserves my best version, and he will get it.
That's great that you were in a better place and building something new together. But if I understand it correctly, he was the last one to know? AP, and then his wife, and then your husband. How did that make him feel? How do you and him view best friends of the opposite sex today? If he wants to, maybe you can direct him to the sub as one after infidelity? It sounds as you are doing the right thing, and I wish you luck on your long journey to come.
Author. I told him my reasons for telling him last, and although he was not happy at first, he understood that I needed to focus on only him. That's why I was done with my confession to OBS before telling him, and he is an active member of the sub you mentioned.
Next story. My wife cheated on me, again, with my best friend.
I, 36-year-old, have been with my wife for 17 years. We have 3 kids together. I always believed in monogamy and being faithful. Over the years, I had plenty of chances to cheat, but never did because I was happy with her. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about her. This isn't the first time she's been unfaithful. Years ago, she had an on and off affair with a married coworker that lasted a few years. Later, she had a fling with her ex while visiting family out of state. Both times I separated from her, but I eventually forgave her because I didn't want my kids to grow up in a broken home like I did. I told myself, we were young, people make mistakes, and we could rebuild. For a while, it seemed like we did. The past 4 years were calm, and I thought we were in a better place. I tried my best to move on and trust her again. But 2 months ago, it all came crashing down. I got a message from my best friend's wife, with screenshots proving my wife was having an affair with him. They weren't just flirting, they were sneaking off to hotels, meeting on lunch breaks, and even planning a weekend getaway. When I confronted them, neither tried to deny it. My wife's excuse? She said she felt neglected, envied how my friend treated his wife, and got carried away. She begged for forgiveness, and now says she'll do anything to keep the marriage. She's even gone as far as offering me a free pass to see other women, as long as I come home to her. To me, that's not a marriage. The truth is, I don't love her the way I used to. At this point, it feels more like I'm tied to her out of history and kids rather than genuine love. She's crossed the line too many times. I can't trust her, and her words mean nothing to me anymore. Right now, we're stuck living under the same roof because of financial reasons and the kids. She's pushing the "we shouldn't let the kids grow up in a broken home" angle, but I think staying together in this situation would do more damage than divorce. To clarify, I'm not staying with her. I know this marriage is over. What I don't know is how to move forward legally and with the kids. I've never been through anything like this. Lawyers, custody, property, all of it feels overwhelming. I do have enough proof of her affairs that she can't just flip the script on me, but I still...
Next story. Girlfriend cheated on me. It felt like my almost 4 years with her was all just an illusion that she made. A week ago, she snuck out while I was asleep. I woke up randomly at 2 a.m. to find her missing, locations off, and not a single answer when I called or texted. Around 5, she said she had an early morning shift, but her locations are usually updated whenever she's home, but it hasn't been updated since midnight, meaning she left midnight. I told her to take a picture of where she's working at, and I was left on open. Fast forward around 7:15 where I usually leave. I had called off because I knew something was up, and I was right. She tried coming home, and when she saw my shoes, she left with the person that she was cheating with. Outfit looked like what she would wear while at home. Now I had a talk with her 2 days ago, and she still lied about cheating. She made me feel crazy and blamed the down. When I talked to her friends back from the states she lived, I learned more about her and how much of a liar she is, victimizing herself and her best friend who never needed it. Even lied about being RPD in the past. I'm lost. I miss the person who I thought she was, but I know I don't ever want to go back to how she is. I called her out on her lies and everything, and still victimized herself. I didn't think her issues was this severe because she grew up in an abusive household, and I don't even want to blame the parents anymore because she did all of this on her own. I am mentally and physically destroyed, and my perception on women became so different, where when I went out, I felt so disgusted when somebody talked to me. All I could think of is the betrayal. But lately I've been wanting to talk to her and tell her how much of a pathological liar she is, and to tell her that she needs to fix herself. She told me she would never do all of those things, and she even cut off a friend of her for cheating multiple times. But it was like full circle moment, and I'm pretty sure she cheated multiple times also with the same guy. But my brain refuses to take all the evidence in order to save my sanity. I gave her everything, even got an apartment with her, even though she manipulated me into doing that with her. I was supposed to live with my close friend. And in the end, when she had the final talk with her best friend, when I told her best friend everything, X basically made fun of me and the things she described. It felt like I never mattered throughout the entire time, and how I was never able to change when I went through hell and back for her, and supported all of her when she didn't have any money or anybody. Was told how I was a very insecure and controlling person when I changed myself for her.
I'm sorry, man. That's awful. I've had something similar happen to me, and it might not feel like it now, but you'll get through it. It took me a while to trust another woman like that, but you'll eventually find someone who makes you feel safe. Stay strong, bro.
Keep your head up, bro. I just went through something similar. I was used and abused, trying to fix everything that was ruined. In reality, she was with somebody else emotionally and physically behind my back. My best advice would be cut her off and do no contact. It's the only thing that has helped me heal. If you ever need somebody to talk to, don't be afraid to reach out.
Next story. That's still cheating, right?
I'm here on Reddit because honestly could use some advice. My partner is a resident in his second year, and I moved from 2 states away when he matched. Maybe I'm a poor partner for searching his phone, but my intuition was right, I think. A month ago, I found him searching up a girl's name at his work and a separate tab of her Instagram profile. This morning, I found texts with her, a nurse he works with. She inviting him to drink and him turning down due to going out with co-residents. He even said he'd go to church with her. My partner is not religious at all, actually opposes it. They spoke about the time he spent in my hometown where we met, and he told her how much he loved it, even though he's clear to me that he won't relocate there after residency. Lastly, he invited her to dinner at our favorite restaurant on a night that I work until 11:30. I'm honestly in disbelief. He had to leave this morning for work and realized I went through his phone. Deflection and being upset that I went through his phone, stating that he needs space, and later admitting what he did was dishonest and that he's sorry. Had to rush out the door before we could talk. My partner cares for most of our finances because I'm in nursing school, and I honestly have no idea what to do. I don't want to forfeit my degree or transfer and lose time. I fear that I can't afford to live elsewhere without working full-time, as I also have a cat. Part of me wants to stay, do therapy, and try to work it out. And another part of me worries I'll never be able to trust him again. What do I do?
That's all for today. Share how you liked the video in the comments. Support my channel with a like and a subscription. I'll be very grateful. See you on the Reddit stream channel. In today's episode, we'll talk about open relationships.
I, 28F, wanted an open relationship. I now regret it, and my husband, 26M, doesn't want to close it. So basically our relationship was good, and we still loved each other very much, but things had started to feel a bit stale. I had read online that opening your relationship can help bring some more life into it. He was at first hesitant, but agreed after we set down some rules. The rules were that we didn't want each overseeing people we both know, such as mutual friends. We didn't need to tell each other about random hookups, but we did need to tell each other if we started seeing someone beyond just hookups. Nothing really happened for the first month, but then I started hooking up with guys on dating apps, and a few weeks later, my husband started having a few hookups every now and then. After 2 months, I met this guy at work and we hit it off. He showed interest, and I told him I was in an open married. He didn't mind, and we started dating. For about a year, this went on, and my husband only had hookups. Then he told me he started seeing someone called Max. I was excited for him and asked some questions, basically asking where he met them and if she was cute. He was a bit awkward around the questions, but answered them, saying they had met at a club and that he found them very cute. This again went on for about 2 years. My husband had met my partner Jake and got on very well. I still had never met Max and had seen very few pictures of her, but my husband seemed happy. One of the things that first pushed me to consider an open relationship is that I'm pretty kinky, and my husband was strictly vanilla. He was willing to do some things for me, but not much, which I respected, which is why it surprised me when I found a box of kinky things such as outfits and toys that were not mine. I brought it up with him, and he seemed embarrassed and told me that he had gotten them for Max. I asked if we could do some more kinky things in the bedroom. He said sure, but when we did it, he didn't seem too into it. Well, about a month ago, Jake told me he had to move country as our company was transferring him. He said he didn't think he could handle a long-distance relationship, and while he loved me, he wanted to break up for now. I was in pieces, and my husband comforted me through it. Jake left the country yesterday. Today, I sat my husband down and told him that I wanted to close our relationship, that I hadn't seen anyone else since I started dating Jake, and that now that he's gone, I only want him. He got quiet and told me he doesn't want to. This shocked me, really. He explained that he really liked being with Max and doesn't want to end things. I didn't really understand because he doesn't talk about her much or bring her around, so I didn't think it was that serious. I told him again that I wanted it to be just us, and that if he continues to see anyone else after this point, I would now consider it cheating. He told me I'm being unfair, but I didn't want to listen anymore, and I told him to get out. He grabbed some clothes and left. I thought he would stay at a friend's house, but have found out after calling them that he's probably with Max RN. And I'm just so upset I don't know what to do. How do I convince him this is best for us?
Next story. Open relationships are cruel and being a woman sucks.
My boyfriend and me have a one-sided open relationship. His choice. I hate it, but I can't leave him. He pays my rent, he got me my job, but also he is so sweet and loving. He is the perfect boyfriend. If I leave, I will never find another like him. I see him a couple of times a week due to busy work schedules. He buys my groceries, rent, pays for my college course. He does love me. He also has another girlfriend. She knows about me, as well as regularly hooking up with people. He goes through my phone and tells me I'm only his, but he would never let me look at his phone, and he is not mine. We have 3 holidays coming up, and if I break up with him, I will lose my college course and have to move back home. He is a genuinely lovely man, so sweet, would never hurt me. However, every time I say it's hurting me that he sees other girls, the subject just seems to change. I make so many sacrifices for the relationship. I travel, my family hate him and can never meet him. He doesn't want marriage or kids or to even live together. Some shit called the Coolidge effect. I guess what I hate most is that I put myself in this situation. I hate the differences between men and women. I hate feeling weak. I hate that men get bored in a relationship and most marriages end in cheating or divorce. I just fucking hate being a woman. I hate being helplessly in love, dependent, and feeling like I'm losing myself to a man that has never even given me flowers. There's a 25-year age gap here, so yes, I know I'm naive and manipulated and whatever else. Yes, I know I'm probably dumb. Yes, I've heard it all before, and I said it all to him. It fucking sucks. Whenever I'm not with him, I feel disgusting, used, scared. Friends and family say I've lost all respect for myself. He just gets to live his dream life, sleeping with whoever he wants. When I am with him, I am the happiest I've ever been. He makes me feel so safe, so loved, and I love every second I'm with him. I'm just so angry. Edit. Yes, I am using Reddit as a reality check since I said a polite version of this to him, and he told me to take some time to think about the tone I speak to him with, and that I can't see his phone because he's protecting me from being emotionally hurt because that's his job as a man. Insane. I could actually scream. He just sent me the most fucked up, hurtful message I have genuinely ever read. I hate him. I don't know what to do. I want to ruin his fucking life. If I leave, I have nothing, and he is still a millionaire with a girlfriend and a collection of whores living his dream.
One of the best examples of why open relationships aren't a good idea.
Me, 39M. Wife, 37F. Told me that she wants a divorce. We've been married for 11 years and have 2 children together, ages 9 and 6. We don't have a sexually intimate marriage, but we do have an emotionally intimate one. We have an open marriage and have both had relationships with other people. She currently has a girlfriend who she has serious feelings for and has been seeing for over a year now. She believes that we would both be happier if we divorced because we could have more fulfilling relationships with other people. She says that the biggest thing keeping us married is our children. She doesn't think an amicable divorce would be that disruptive to our lives or our children's lives. I told her I need some time to think and process my feelings. I'm not unhappy in our marriage. If anything, I want to be with her more, not less. But she wants the opposite. I don't want a divorce, but I don't want to cause unnecessary conflict with her. I just can't picture what my life would be like without her in it. I thought her and I were both happy together, but I guess I was wrong. I don't want a divorce, but I'm not sure if our marriage is salvageable. She seems to have her mind already made up.
How to navigate a one-sided open relationship.
So obviously there's all kinds of different relationship dynamics within the E&M and poly community, so I'm trying to figure out how to navigate mine, an asymmetrical open relationship dynamic. I've only ever been in monogamous relationships. I'm a 36M married 10 years to 36F. She's not a physical touch person, and she does not equate love to sex at all. I'm very affectionate and sexual, and she's not. You would think we would be incapable, right? But no relationship is perfect in every way, and we have a great relationship in sex life even. We are best friends and love our relationship. But she also believes humans weren't meant to be monogamous, and that sex with other people is not a big deal. She thinks that I would be happier being able to have other people fulfill my emotional and physical needs beyond what she can. Although I'd never do anything without her approval, she's not wrong. She has mentioned it for years lightheartedly, and I brushed it off, but she got more serious about it after I got a vasectomy, as she was always worried about me getting another woman pregnant. Now she is like, go ahead, stop smothering me with affection, and go find someone who will indulge in that with you. So, to clarify, she is okay with me having FWB or long-term girlfriend. I will be upfront that I'm never leaving my wife, and person is to be okay with that poly-style relationship. So this is where I'm curious how this works. She is not interested in other men herself. I'm already more than she can handle, LOL. She doesn't like dating, and I don't want her to either. I wouldn't agree to this if her side was open too. She's fine with that. Her idea and encouragement for me too. She does not want people at the house unless I get to know them really well and trust them. Even then, she's hesitant because we have a daughter in middle school age. Doesn't want to know details. Fine with knowing that I'm going out with someone, but doesn't want to know all the details. So how do people I date that are okay with open relationships know that I'm not cheating or whatever? Won't most people I date be from the ENM/poly community? And don't they like to meet the partner and/or have confirmation it's truly open and you're not cheating? How do I do that if my wife doesn't want to be involved? I feel like some of you might say that she's not really serious or okay with it, but she really is. She says it bothers her zero if I have sex with somebody else or intimate with them. She says she just doesn't want to be compared to them and doesn't really want to be involved. It's my thing for me, she said. She knows it's something I need and is completely okay with, but is not an interest for her. Advice on how to navigate this? Is this a rare open relationship dynamic, or is it more common than I think?
What's your opinion on open relationships? Share your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next episodes. In today's episode, there are plenty of interesting stories about cheating. Wife cheated on me while pregnant. Wife of 9 years planning to meet guy in Vegas. First story, my wife of 7 years cheated on me.
Got cheated on this weekend by my wife of 7 years. I'm completely devastated. I don't know what to do. I'm not angry, just really devastated and depressed. Me and my wife, we share 2 kids and a stepson that I treat as my own son. Over the past years, there's been a lot of fights about finances, and that I have not been there for here, as in caring for her feelings, which I admit, I've not been the best husband over that time. She lost 3 grandparents, which were like her parents. It devastated her, and I've not been the best partner to attend to her emotional needs at time. On Sunday, she took a trip to LA and was planning to spend the night over as a girl trip. I said, that's fine. Just check up on us, as in me and the kids. I did not get a response, so I texted her wondering what was going on. Normally our location are on, but she did not